Hi, this is a little hip stretch mobility session. Just a quick one for you to do in the morning, at night, or maybe before you go out for a run or playing golf or whatever you might be doing. I'll go through the exercises where you should be feeling it and what you should be doing in order to make sure you're getting the right bit of your body to stretch. But feel free to hold each stretch for a little bit longer, even up to 5 minutes if you really want to really get into releasing the muscles, releasing the fascia and the tissue between all the muscles. So feel free to pause the video with each stretch and then keep coming back to it as you're ready. We'll start off releasing through the hip flexors and getting into the lower back a little bit. You can use a foam roller, a yoga block, a rolled up towel, anything that's not too firm that it's uncomfortable, but it needs to be firm enough that it's not going to collapse altogether. So you're lying with the roller under your tailbone. Make sure it's not your lower back, but under your actual tailbone. Body's nice and straight. You're going to straighten through your left leg and pull your right knee in towards your chest. Really want to try and tuck your tailbone underneath, so pulling your hip bones in towards you. We're not arching our backs like that. You want to try and flatten through your lower back, using this right knee as a bit of a lever to help you get there. And you should feel a really good stretch down the front of your left hip. You can play around with sort of turning the leg out or turning it in a little bit, or bringing it across or bringing it out. But usually if it's in line with your hip bone, nice and parallel, nice and straight, and we just breathe into it. And as you breathe in, you should feel the muscle tension just sort of dissipating. You might feel it up into your tummy or down into your quad, that's fine, wherever you tight. And then when you're ready, hugging both knees into your chest, stretching out through the other side, pulling that left knee in gently, and trying to reach that right leg straight down to the ground. You might be up the floor, that's fine. Your knee might be a little bit bent, that's fine. Don't force it, but wherever you get to, that's where you just want to hold it and breathe through the stretch. All right, when we're done with that one, you can just stay on your back, feet together, and let the knees just separate. Now, if your feet are a bit further away, you're going to feel it more into your hip joint. If your feet are closer towards your bottom, you might feel it more into the top part of your inner thighs, your adductors. So you find a comfortable spot for you that you feel you're getting a stretch, but you're able to hold it. And we just hold it and breathe. You can put your hands on your thighs to try and gently give a downwards pressure, but you shouldn't be forcing anything. And then when you feel like you've had enough of that one, gently bring your legs together, and we're going to get into our glute stretch. So we start stretching our right leg. You're going to bend your left knee. Right ankle goes on your left knee. That might be enough for you. You might feel a stretch. You're aiming to feel it, I'll do the other side so you can see. So you're aiming to feel it on the outside of your glute in your hip area here. This one, you might feel in your actual hip joint and not in the muscle with your foot down, that's fine too. But then to get more into the muscle, you reach between the holding between your legs, grab onto the back of your leg, and here we're pulling our right knee to your right shoulder and your left knee out to the side. So that's the opposite to what I started with. I changed sides. So your bent knee is coming up towards your shoulder, your stretching leg is pushing out to the side, trying to keep your bottom down. So we don't want this position. You want to try and get your bottom down and your head and shoulders relaxed. You can then cross your knee over, take your hands around the outside and pull in towards your chest. And then you feel it in a slightly different spot, sort of lower down into your piriformis. And then you unravel, do the other side. So right ankle over left knee, holding behind the left thigh. Left knee pulls up towards your left shoulder. Right knee presses out to the side and you're feeling it on the outside of your right hip. And then when you're ready, you cross over, pulling both hands around the outside of your legs and pulling them into your chest to feel that sort of slightly lower down underneath your bottom. And when we're stretching our hips, it's also important to have a nice flexible lower back. So feet come down, bent on the floor, You can shift your hips over a tiny bit to the right, and then your knees go over to the left. Now it's really important here that you don't let that top knee roll back, keeping your knees together, hands can stay out, trying to keep the right arm down against the floor, and reaching the legs across and away from you, so opposite direction from your right arm, and breathing. And you might feel it more in your lower back, maybe in your upper back, maybe in your chest, wherever you feel it is where you need to stretch. So that's fine, as long as there's no pain. And when you're ready, come back to the middle, shift your bottom over a tiny bit to the other side, let your knees fall over towards the right, keep reaching your top leg far away from your armpit, so you're getting a really good stretch across your body. And again, just breathe. Try and focus on where you're getting the breath. So with this one, you want to breathe out into here. So breathing in, feel your ribs expand, and as you breathe out, you just feel the muscles lengthen that tiny bit more. And again, breathing in and breathing out. And coming back to the middle. All right, last one, we're going to get into our hamstrings. Lots of different ways to stretch your hamstrings, but I want to try and stretch your lower back as well with this one. So you're going to have your legs out in front of you, just hip width distance apart, reaching up to the ceiling, grow your spine really tall, and then you reach forwards and grab wherever, your knees, your shins, your ankles, and just rounding through your lower back. So that's getting some sort of release through your lower back. If your knees are bent or straight, it doesn't matter. To feel it more into the top of the hamstrings, you're going to straighten through your spine. Use your hands to pull your spine straight and kind of try and get your tummy to touch your thighs and send your chest out forwards. And you can bend your knees, lengthen through your spine, breathing out, folding forwards, and hold it. And when you're ready, bend your knees to lengthen, stretch through your lower back, your upper back straightens, and breathing out, folding down. We'll do one more breathing in and breathing out, and then you're just going to stay wherever you feel comfortable. And taking your time, and then we're going to come up just to get a bit of mobility in the joints now. So you can grab a little fitness ball, a yoga block, the same towel that you started off with before. Anything that's a bit squishy, you're going to put it between your knees, nice and upright. We're going to come into all fours, and you're just going to windscreen wiper your knee out and in, out and in, out and in. And doing the other side, you might feel one side moves a lot more easily than the other. It's fine, it just means you need to work more on the side that doesn't. You can do both together and go into a cross. So external rotation, internal rotation, external rotation. Now we're just keeping a gentle squeeze on the ball, so activating the adductor muscles which help us move our hips, but you're not overworking them to create excessive tightness. Okay, so that's rotation. And then getting into the glute, one more hip flexor stretch. Instead of coming forwards into this position, which everybody does so badly, you're going to drape yourself forwards over your thigh. So really try and kind of relax down onto it. If you need to, prop your hands up with blocks or cushions or whatever. And then from there, you're going to try and straighten through the back leg and bend it. And stretch it and bend it. And stretch and bend. Now we can keep going. So we're using the back of our glutes to do the work and feeling the stretch in the front. Changing sides. So like I said, if this flexibility is a bit hard for you, you just grab some things and you're supporting yourself up here. It's totally fine. Hands are down. Tuck your toes. Straighten. Push the energy out through your heel. Drop your knee down. Squeezing through your bottom. Relax. Feeling the stretch up the front of the hip and down. We'll just do two more. Your body is supported by the front leg. And that's you. Hips nice and warm, nice and long, ready for a big workout.